Hi everybody. Well, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to my refrigerator. Today I'm going to show you how I organize my refrigerator and some of the bins that I use. Now some people might think that, okay, the bins take up way too much room. But for me, I like it. I think it's convenient, it's easy, and I'm kind of working the night shift here because I sort of had to wait until the critters in the house went to sleep. You know, pup and mom, so that I don't get interrupted. So I usually do this type of cleaning out my fridge on Mondays because Tuesday morning is garbage pickup, so I like to get the refrigerator totally cleaned out on Mondays, and then I try not to do my grocery shopping on the weekends if I don't have to, because I'm home during the week and it's so much easier to get up early and just zip in and zip out. So let me adjust this lighting a little bit. It looks like it's a little bit bright. I think that's a little better. I'm getting a little bit of glare there. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. My camera batteries were kind of dead, and so I'm charging them, so I'm using my phone, but I think it'll be fine. So this is, I'm going to adjust, guys. This is an LG refrigerator, and it has the feature of the smoked glass front. I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see. And if you just give it a knock, the light comes on and you can actually see what you have inside in your door here, which I think is kind of convenient, and then it automatically shuts off. It has water and ice dispenser, as you know, most refrigerators do. And so as I'm going to step you through the refrigerator now, this is not cleaned for the week, so once I get everything out, you know, as far as what I'm not going to keep and pitch, then I just do a quick wipe down on the inside and I do a wipe down on the outside. So let me get a few things ready and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I think the best way for me to do this particular video will be through a voiceover because I'm trying to keep everything kind of quiet, because if my dog hears the crinkling of things and then I'm in the fridge, she'll get up because then she thinks she has to eat something. But she doesn't. So, anyway, here we go. Yep, and this is the inside. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's going to be a little bit bright, but I'm going to bring you in so you can see what I utilize. I do use Lazy Susans in the refrigerator. I think for me they work great. I can contain a lot of stuff that's like items together, and I like that. I have another one down in this area here, and it's a pretty big wide one because you can see here on the door I've lost some space compared to my last refrigerator. I have these 3 shelves available here, but I needed more space, so I like to keep everything in a Lazy Susan, and it's so easy to find. Next, I want to show you this feature. Oh, and the fridge is going to talk to us because it buzzes when it's been open too long. So one of the nice features that my husband really liked about this refrigerator, you'd think I'm doing an ad for this refrigerator, but I'm not, is the fact that you can press this button here and it only opens this part of the refrigerator, which is really nice because there's so many times during the day that you just go into it for a drink or your milk or coffee made, or I have some like almond milk and egg beaters and some syrup, and then a here I keep extra butter and cream cheese and some extra cream. So it's really nice that this part can be opened halfway. So that way you're not dropping the temperature inside the whole entire refrigerator, which I think is really smart. Now, if you have an item in that area and it's too large to get out, like let's say from this angle, I have this big jug here of lemonade, then you can very easily just shut the door, open it, and this whole compartment, just by pressing it, opens up. And then you have easy access to the top, the middle, and the bottom shelf. So, and sometimes I have to, depending on how much I have on this shelf here, if things are too tight or if this is really tall and it just barely fits in here, to pull it out at an angle, it's much easier to take it out from this side. So that's a really nice feature, and I really like it. So, oops, let me get just set up here so you can see. Oh, it is really bright in there, and that's nice. Again, lots of nice bright lights, but I'm going to go ahead in here and I'm going to just kind of show you some of the other things. There are 3 drawers here and a smaller middle drawer, and I usually keep my fruits in here, and then extra vegetables in this middle drawer, and then the other vegetables here in this drawer. And then it has, I'm going to have to wiggle you around a little, this large deli drawer, which is super nice. And I have purchased these plastic bins with these little green dividers in them, and they fit so nice in this drawer, and I have 2 of them. And usually here I will keep my cherry tomatoes, because I eat those a lot for snacks, my string cheeses here, and any other kind of, extra cheese that I might have back here. And then here I have another little slider. These are all refrigerator sliders. Let me pull this one out so I can show it to you. And I have most of all of our deli meats, cheeses in here, extra cheeses. And then over here on the side, I don't have another bin, but it's just, I have the deli meats there. And then I still have room in the back if I have extra cheeses, depending on what I'm making. Now, this refrigerator, and they all fit in there so nicely. I just really like that. And I did get all of these bins at TJ Maxx. You can usually pick them up at TJ Maxx or Home Goods or Marshalls. And this refrigerator also has what's called glide in access, and so this top area pulls out towards you, and it's much easier to get things that go in the back. So that was another added feature. And of course the shelves are all adjustable. So that kind of takes care of this area here. One other thing I do use, and I use this as a convenience for my mom. Ooh, are we getting blinded there? Are bins like these. Sorry, guys. So you can see these long, nice, narrow bins. These are refrigerator bins, and I keep her yogurts in there, because then that way she sees them and she can pull it out a little bit and grab a yogurt, and then it's convenient for her. And I also use, I got to be careful, these egg containers. Super nice. You see, it has a lid to it, and I just transfer my eggs when I get them from the store into these containers. They each hold 12, and I have 2 of them because I always usually have 2 egg things going. So that pretty much just sort of covers, the insides of the fridge. And I have one more large bin here, and it's this one. And this one I try to keep anything that's loose. Like I have extra lettuce here that I'm going to be chopping up to make my individual salads for the week. And that kind of is really bulky in these drawers, so I kind of like to keep that separate. And I also have a package of chops that are thawing from the freezer right here. So in this bin, it's usually pretty much stuff that I am going to use within the next day or so. So let me close this for just a second. Oops, so it can reset itself. And then I'll kind of show you the freezer. Now the freezer drawer is a mess because I haven't really had time to get into this, but I'll just kind of show you briefly what I have in here. Now these drawers at the bottom come with this automatic divider here, so you can make this as wide or as narrow as you want. And I pretty much keep the majority here of vegetables. And usually it's a little more organized, but with Easter, you know, within the last couple of weeks, yeah, I need to do some real serious cleaning in this freezer drawer. But I just kind of have everything in here just loosely. I don't have any bins in here. I did try one or two bins shortly after I got the refrigerator, and I just decided for those bottom drawers, I just don't need the bins. I need more of that open space. And then it has this sliding drawer. Am I showing this to you? Yep, right there. And here I pretty much keep my nuts and cheeses and things that we use you know, more frequently during the week. So I can go right to that drawer there. And then it also has another top drawer, which is super nice because it's easy access. I do have one bin drawer that's right here, and then this little plastic one that's there. And here I have most of breakfast food, some that I prepare ahead of time. They're all marked, but again, these bins, I'm showing this to you right there. I purchased these at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls. So shut that and shut that. And that's it for the refrigerator. All the components are here on the side. And I'm going to just go ahead now and start my, what would be weekly cleaning of the fridge, disposing of foods that we are not going to eat. And I'll show you when I'm totally finished. I will do a voiceover on this, how I kind of store everything from side to side. So let me get started. So here we go, guys. I kind of start to remove things in the refrigerator. I push things around, make sure nothing fell behind anything, kind of just look and check out the dates and see what I need to, you know, kind of dispose of or get rid of. And I do recycle, so I take the time to, you know, separate my recycle from my garbage bin. I was just showing you a bin that I keep my open tortillas in, because then everything's all together and it's easy just to pull that bin out when we want, you know, either a corn or a flour tortilla. And then I'm just closing the door and looking through the food that's left over. And I was showing you those were shrimp patties that I did make, and those were delicious. And then I condensed some lima beans all together, and that was a little leftover waffle. But I do save bags if there are non-meat products in them. I wash the plastic Ziplocs and reuse them. And looks like I've kind of disappeared here, but I'll be back. And I'm just showing you here, that's just a loaf of bread that has one little piece of bread left, but Mom sometimes forgets to tie it up, and so it goes kind of stale, so I'll just dispose of it. Sometimes I throw it outside for the birds, and sometimes it just needs to be disposed of. So again, I'm just checking through some of the food that I pulled out just to assess it and see if it might be something that is still good to eat for leftovers, or if I have to just pitch it. And then I do go through certain containers because my mom tends to keep some things that she can't eat all at one time, and I just make sure that the lid is securely put on it. And sometimes she saves salad that has dressing on it, gets a little soggy, so I just have to sometimes pitch it. But that particular container was still good. And so I just continue on checking through, looking at dates, looking at the inside of, opened cottage cheese or sour cream, things like that, to make sure that, it hasn't gone bad and it's still good. Those are little liners. They're actually cutting, plastic cutting, chopping blocks, and I use them for liners inside the refrigerator. Just saves easy wipe up, just, can clean it, pull it out, put it back on, and, if anything drippy or sticky seeps through anything, those little liners catch it. I get them at the dollar store, and they're great. I use them to also line my wire racks. And then I just go into the refrigerator. I make sure everything has a nice tight seal on it because, again, sometimes Mom doesn't secure the lid, so I double check all of that and, just make sure that everything is still edible. And now I'm moving down into the freezer drawer. My freezer drawer needs a little TLC. I don't think this is the time I'm really going to give it to it, but soon, within the next week or so, just kind of do a quick reorganizing. And I kind of group everything together so that I know, I do save some leftover tomato paste if I'm just using a tablespoon, and then I stick it in some saran wrap, and then when I need tomato paste, I have it. So I try to put it all in the same little baggie, and I just do just a real quick basic clean over in the freezer, and just make sure there isn't anything in there that might have like 2 French fries in a bag that I can get rid of. And so here we have, I know you're getting blinded by the inside. Let me see if I can bring you up. So just a quick review again. Pretty much I put things like, cottage cheese, butter extra. I always keep our extra tortillas once they've been opened, and put them in their own sealable plastic, or I add a Ziploc bag to them, but I keep them in a bin. That way you can slide out, take out what you want. Extra bread I put over here. I have this little tray, and it can just slide in and out. I have the Lazy Susan there. And this one I think I purchased at Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond. And then another bin for my yogurts. My eggs are back there. These are leftovers. A bin here for things that I use currently. And then, of course, the drawers. And I think this is really nice, these dividers here. I just love them. And I could have put 3 across, but I really needed the space for deli meat and cheeses. And this makes it so handy. I just wash everything, make sure it's really dried nicely, and stick them in there. And when I want a snack, I just go right in there. And like you can see on this particular refrigerator, other refrigerators that I've had more deeper pockets, but this refrigerator, because of the way it's made, doesn't. But it's a very large refrigerator, and I can make it work. And especially like during the holiday for Easter, I really packed in a lot of food in there, and a lot of what I was preparing in advance, and made room for it in there, and it was wonderful. So this little side door that you can open so that you don't have to disturb the whole entire refrigerator, and it does keep everything in here really cold, so it's nice. I haven't had any problems with it going bad, quicker, and just that quick little knock to be able to see, what do you have in there? Do you need something at the grocery store without having to open it is really a nice feature. So, guys, that is my what is it? Yeah, almost midnight refrigerator organization clean out. But I wanted to get this video done and up for this coming week. And so I wanted to show it to you. I think it's a nice looking refrigerator. I really like it. And so glad I went with the 30 cubic foot because the other one was just too small. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. And yes, if you're wondering, because I do use these Lazy Susans and I use bins and other container type things, honestly, I buy according to what I know is going to fit. I know economically you should, okay, let's always buy the big fat ones and the largest ones, but sometimes that just ends up going to waste. So I don't do that. I have to keep in mind what I have available on this side of the drawer or door for salad dressings, ketchups, mustard, so I buy accordingly. And honestly, do we really go through that much mustard? We like it, but one jar lasts a long time. So, hope you enjoyed this little midnight refrigerator talk, and let me know what some of your favorite safe refrigerator saving space items may be. I'm interested. Well, not too bad of a mess this week. It was pretty simple, so I guess I'm just going to get started and clean it up. Well, I guess that little sucker turned off on its own, but I just have coffee made for the morning, and I'm rinsing out the sink. Good night, all.